Dr. S.I.F. Philomen Raj, MSc, MPhil PhD, retired Head Department of Physics, Madras Christian College, Tambaram, Chennai. He is presently serving as a guest lecturer in Loyola College, Nungambakkam, Chennai. He has a teaching experience of 35 years in Madras Christian College for UG and PG students. His field of research is nuclear physics and he has presented about 30 papers in symposia organized by Baba Atomic Research Center, Mumbai. He has guided 50 MPhil students and about 100 MSc students in their projects. He has authored practical physics books for MSc and BSc courses. He is presently engaged in writing a book on nuclear physics for Printers Hall, India.
Welcome to UGC lecture series in physics. Let us continue with the syllabus nuclear and particle physics. Today we shall discuss the following contents about the alpha decay reaction. Alpha decay, already we mentioned about alpha, beta, gamma. Now we will be more specific with alpha, the alpha decay reaction, and what is the Q value of the alpha decay, and what is Q value, what do you mean by Q value, and range of alpha particles. If it is more energetic, it will have a greater range. So, we will study about the range and also the spectra, alpha spectra. What is the spectra you get? It is not a monoenergetic alpha, you get long range and short range alpha. Then we will go to the Gamow theory, which is a quantum mechanical theory which beautifully explains the half-life of alpha decay. And then we will discuss about Geiger-Nuttall law, which is an experimental law, and how the Gamow theory is able to reproduce or deduce Geiger-Nuttall law, and what is the kinetic energy of alpha particle, the kinetic energy carried by the alpha particle in terms of the Q value of the reaction. Now, what is alpha particle? Already we have studied so many times. Just to refresh, I am telling, it is nucleus of helium, helium-24. It has got 2 proton and 2 neutron. It is a very stable system. That is alpha particle. What is alpha decay? When you say alpha decay, it is spontaneous emission of alpha particle without triggering, giving any external trigger. A heavy nucleus emits alpha particle by itself spontaneously. So, alpha decay is spontaneous emission. There are so many heavy nuclei which are emitting alpha. Now, we will just present one of them. Uranium 92-238 is the parent nucleus that emits alpha particle, and the daughter nucleus is thorium 90-234, and the helium-24 is the alpha particle here. So, here mass number is in agreement, 238, here 234 and 4, and here the atomic number or the number of proton is in agreement, 92, here 90 plus 2, and we get some energy. Energy will be in MeV. In all nuclear cases, energy will be in MeV, and as we already discussed, I am just recalling, in the case of atomic levels, the energy will be in eV. In the case of X-ray energy, it will be in keV, and in all nuclear cases, we will have the energy in MeV. And what will be the energy? That is called Q value. The Q value is only the difference in binding energy. See, we have got uranium 92-238 will have one binding energy. Now, you take the binding energy of 234 and binding energy of alpha particle. Now, naturally, this binding energy of the daughter product, the sum of the binding energy of the daughter product will always be greater than the binding energy of the parent. See, only then that particular reaction is possible. It goes towards a greater binding energy. So, suppose you have got maybe you think about a valley, we have put a stone somewhere at the top of the hill. Now, if you slightly disturb, that will come down. When it comes down, it will be more binding to the earth. So, where is binding energy larger? Towards the earth is the binding energy larger, and as we go higher from the surface of the earth, the binding energy decreases. So, what is the natural system? A stone cannot go from the ground to the top. Maybe if it is at the top, if you disturb it, it will just roll down. So, any system will move towards greater binding energy. Therefore, you just remember binding energy of the parent is smaller, and the binding energy of these products will be daughter and the alpha particle together. That binding energy will be greater. That is why this reaction is possible. So, Q is the difference in binding energy of the parent and the daughter products. Now, the range depends on Q. So, the alpha particle as it comes out, it can go to different distances, and naturally if the energy is larger, it will go to a larger distance. So, the range of the alpha particle depends on the Q value. Now, we just talk about the alpha spectra. We said about the range, and the range is one thing, and then we get a spectra, that is we have got, you just think about the parent. In the example that we have given, parent is uranium 238 and the daughter is thorium 234 in the example we have given. Now, here this is the ground state of the uranium, that is the parent, and these are the excited states of parent. So, we are yet to come to the shell model, but here you just assume or remember that inside a nucleus we have got levels, we have got energy levels. So, as very similar to what we have in atomic case. So, here we have got ground state of uranium and then excited states of uranium, that is the parent. Similarly, the daughter is, in our case it is thorium 234, there we get ground state of the daughter nucleus and one or two excited states. We have just drawn one or two, but it can have many states. So, we have just for giving the physics behind that, we have just drawn two lines, two excited states of daughter. Now, here how do you get the spectra now? See, normal transition is, the transition is from ground of the parent to ground of the daughter. So, this is the line we have drawn, ground of the parent and ground of the daughter. That is the Q value that you get, normal Q value. So, suppose you expect Q value to be 4 MeV. How do you expect? That is calculating the binding energy difference. What we get a result as a calculation is Q, which is for example, if it is 4 MeV. But what experimentally they found is not only 4 MeV, there are some alpha particles which are coming with energy greater than 4 MeV, and some are coming with energy slightly less than 4 MeV. Now, for giving the explanation for this, we draw the alpha spectra energy level diagram. So, if the transition is from ground to ground, ground of the parent to ground of the daughter, it is normal Q value. Now, suppose the transition is from one of the excited states of the parent to ground. So, here the energy difference is larger. You just see the arrow distance itself is larger. So, from here to here, it is going like a stone falling from a higher level to the ground state. So, it is larger here. Therefore, we will be getting more than 4 MeV. The 4 MeV is an example that I am just telling, and similarly here this will be also more than 4 MeV. So, this is slightly shorter, so maybe this is 4 MeV, this is 4.2 MeV, this is 4.4 MeV. For you to understand, I am just giving some numbers. So, these are called long range alpha particles. So, here we are just writing as Q prime. Q prime is greater than Q. Q is expected energy, but you are getting slightly more than that. So, that is called Q prime greater than Q, that is long range. Now, when you go to the other one, the transition can be from ground of the parent to one of the excited levels of daughter. See here, from the ground it goes to one first excited level, this one from the ground it goes to second excited level. So, here see the energy difference is smaller, therefore, we get the Q prime, that is we call it as energy Q prime less than Q. So, these are called short range alpha particles. So, for example, if it is 4 MeV, this is for example 4.2, maybe this is 4.4, here I will be getting less. So, less than 4, maybe 3.8, 3.6, we get slightly lower levels. This energy level diagram establishes the alpha spectra or establishes the long range and short range alpha particles. So, to just summarize this one, if the transition is from ground of the parent to ground of the daughter, that is normal transition. If the transition is from one of the excited levels of parent to the ground state of daughter, it corresponds to long range alpha particle. And if the transition is from ground of the parent to one of the excited levels of daughter, we get short range. So, this alpha spectra was observed by the experimental Rosenblum. Now, here there was another two experimental scientists, Geiger and Nuttall. They found out one law. They studied about the alpha particle from a different nuclei. We, as an example, we gave just uranium. It can be uranium 238 or uranium 235. So, we have got already we have studied also in 4n series, 4n plus 1 series, 4n plus 2, 4n plus 3 different series. So, Geiger and Nuttall, they took all that from those series, radioactive series, they plotted log lambda. This is natural logarithm ln. Lambda is the decay constant, and from the q value we know what is the velocity of the particle. Alpha particle will be coming with some velocity. So, we know that the q is the kinetic energy, q is equal to half mv squared. Therefore, when the energy is larger, velocity will also be larger. Now, they plotted 1 by v alpha in the x axis, 1 by v alpha. V alpha is the velocity of the emerging alpha particle from a particular parent, and log lambda, decay constant of that parent. And they found from different series they have taken, and they found that it is a straight line with a negative slope. So, this is called Geiger-Nuttall law. They are only experimental people, they have not established the theory, but they found out and they gave the experimental data falling under a straight line. GN is Geiger-Nuttall. Geiger-Nuttall law is only experimental. So, they are only experimental people, and the Gamow is a theoretical person, theoretical nuclear physicist. Gamow gave a theory which we will be seeing later, Gamow's theory of alpha decay, that explains GN law. So, what we say is GN law is experimental, but Gamow's theory theoretically it explains the reproduces or deduces the Geiger-Nuttall law. We will be seeing that later. Now, we are just giving the experimental data. Once we go to Gamow's theory, we will come back to this again. What is the kinetic energy of alpha particle? We said the energy is Q, the energy, the Q value, that is the difference between the binding energy of the parent and this the sum of binding energy of the byproducts like daughter and alpha particle. Already we have just stated that. Now, that is the available energy, and what is the energy carried by the alpha particle? Why we are putting this question? That available energy will be shared between alpha particle which is coming out and the daughter, because the daughter will recoil. So, like suppose you fire a gun, the bullet will be going at a high velocity, but there will be recoil of the gun. So, if the gun is very big, then the recoil will be small. Therefore, there will be some recoil. Therefore, the available energy is shared between the bullet and the gun. Similarly, here the available energy is shared between the alpha particle which comes out like a bullet and the daughter nucleus. See, once the alpha particle is residing inside parent, once the alpha particle emerges out, what is left behind is daughter. Therefore, I hope you understand what we are trying to put. Parent, we have got a parent nucleus inside which there is alpha particle. The alpha particle comes out with some velocity, and once the alpha particle comes out, what is remaining of the parent is only daughter, because the daughter plus alpha particle makes the parent. In the example that we have already cited, uranium-238 is the parent and alpha particle helium-24 comes out, and what is remaining is thorium. Thorium is remaining. Therefore, in that case alpha particle comes out and the daughter is thorium. So, the thorium will be moving backward, this will be moving forward. So, with a small recoil. Therefore, we want to calculate what is the energy carried by the alpha particle in terms of that Q. So, from linear momentum, conservation of linear momentum, we know that m alpha v alpha is equal to m d v d. That is, m alpha is mass of alpha particle and velocity of alpha particle. This is momentum of the alpha particle. M d v d is the momentum of the daughter nucleus. Both must be equal. And from this, we want only kinetic energy of alpha particle. Therefore, what we write, we do not Vd, we want only V alpha, because once you get V alpha, I can get kinetic energy of m V alpha squared I can put. Therefore, in the Vd is written in terms of alpha. So, Vd is equal to m alpha V alpha by Md. So, we are just rewriting this equation. Vd equal to, we are taking that Md down. So, Vd equal to m alpha V alpha by Md. Okay. Now, our aim is kinetic energy of alpha particle. Now, what is the total energy available? The total energy available is Q, that is shared between the alpha particle and the daughter nucleus. What is the energy carried by alpha particle? It is half m alpha V alpha squared. This is the kinetic energy carried by the alpha particle, and the other one is kinetic energy carried by the daughter, m of md Vd squared. Okay, this is total kinetic energy. We are just writing this one is kinetic energy, say we are retaining, because this is kinetic energy of alpha particle, which is what we want now. Now, here I do not want Vd, I want only in terms of V alpha. So, what we do of Md, in the place of Vd we are using this equation, this one. So, we are just substituting that here. So, you will be getting m alpha squared V alpha squared by Md squared. We have just in the place of Vd we are using this. So, Vd squared we are writing this part. Now, here the first part is kinetic energy of the alpha particle. Now, the second part, I can, this is Md will get cancelled. So, I get just only this is Md and Md squared. So, one Md will get cancelled. So, we get Md here. What remains is of m alpha squared V alpha squared. See this one, m alpha squared V alpha squared. This get one of Md gets cancelled. So, we get this. Now, here next step what we will do, this is kinetic energy. So, here also you take m alpha V alpha squared outside. So, it becomes a common factor and we will see the equation reduces to a simpler form. So, here, so the energy Q is equal to of m alpha V alpha squared, which is a common factor which we have taken out. So, what will be remaining is inside the bracket 1 plus m alpha by Md, this one m alpha Md. So, I will go to the previous one, see this one, of m alpha V alpha squared taken outside, of m alpha, 1 m alpha you take V alpha squared. So, what will be remaining will be m alpha by Md, and here I will get 1. That is what we are getting in the next equation. So, we get this. Now, in a alpha decay reaction, A becomes A minus 4 plus 4. What does that mean? The example that we have taken is uranium-238, that is the parent. So, the A equal to 238 will become thorium. Thorium is 234. So, that is A minus 4, 238 minus 4, A minus 4, plus the alpha particle has got mass number 4. So, in general for any alpha reaction, alpha decay reaction, in terms of mass number we can always write A becomes A minus 4 plus 4. In our example, 238 becomes 234 plus 4. Now here I will go back to this equation. Q is equal to, what is this, of m alpha b alpha squared is the kinetic energy. Kinetic energy. So we are putting the symbol E is the kinetic energy of the alpha particle, and here we are just retaining this quantity, say 1 plus, instead of m alpha it is 4, we are writing as 4. Instead of md, mass of daughter, we are writing a minus 4. You say this is m alpha, this is md. So this is m alpha and this is md, 4 by a minus 4 we are written. Now here we are just simplifying that. I will be getting Q is equal to E a by a minus 4. We are just simplifying that. Or this is Q equal to E we have written. Our aim is, at the title what we are given is kinetic energy of alpha particle. See, this is the total energy, this is kinetic energy. So the kinetic energy I want. So E equal to, you just take this quantity, the square bracket, to the other side. So I will be getting E equal to Q, instead of A by A minus 4, we write as A minus 4 by A, A minus 4 by A. So we get this equation, and this can be again written as E equal to Q 1 minus 4 by A, that is we are dividing by A. So we get 1 minus 4 by A. So this is the kinetic energy carried by the alpha particle. So we are getting an expression, kinetic energy carried by alpha particle in terms of total energy, and what is A here? A is the parent mass number of the parent. For example, in our case it is 238 our case, and 4 is the mass number of the alpha particle. So here this is 4 by 238. 4 by 238 is a very small quantity, therefore this second part becomes negligible. So what will happen? I will be getting E approximately equal to Q, because the square bracket quantity is a small quantity. 1 minus 4 by 238 is a very small quantity which can be neglected, therefore E is equal to Q. That is what we have written here. So here in this equation, A is much greater than 4. Not only uranium, all the heavy elements are emitting alpha particle. So you get 238 or 235. This alpha particle mass number is 4. A is much greater than 4. Therefore this quantity is neglected. Therefore we get E is approximately equal to Q. So what we have found out now is the total energy is Q, and almost the whole of the energy is carried by the alpha particle, which means the daughter nucleus has got a very minimal recoil energy, very small energy, and this is the case for the alpha. Suppose I take a bigger particle which comes out, like cluster D. We said a cluster with mass number greater than alpha particle. In that case, I will be getting this instead of 4, I will get a bigger number. In that case, we cannot neglect this. We have to take the whole expression. So E will be equal to Q 1 minus 4 by A. Instead of 4, suppose the emitted particle is carbon. If you take carbon 12, so here this 4 will become 12. Suppose the emitted particle is Y8 16, so I will be getting 16. So in that case, this square bracket will not be negligible. We need to take that into account. For alpha, this is a very, we can very comfortably say that E is approximately equal to Q. So hereafter, in our next Gamow theory derivation, we will be using Q in the place of E. Both are same as far as kind of alpha particle is concerned. Therefore, in Gamow theory, do not get confused with E and Q. Both are same. E, kinetic energy of the alpha particle, is approximately equal to the Q value of the reaction. Now we will just enter into Gamow's theory. We will outline the Gamow's theory. Gamow's theory gives explanation for alpha decay. It is able to derive an expression for half-life. Each parent nucleus, uranium 238 or thorium is a alpha particle emitter, plutonium, neptunium, all are there are many alpha particle emitters, and each one is giving some half-life. Some are having half-life in seconds, some in days and minutes, and some are in years, and some are in 10 power 6 and 10 power 9 years. Therefore, the half-life is differing, so much differing. Now, Gamow gave a theoretical explanation for this alpha emission. And what is alpha particle? Alpha decay. Alpha decay is a spontaneous emission of alpha particle. Spontaneous, it emits by itself. The decay is a continuous process. And when is this decay possible? Q must be greater than 0. Naturally, the Q is already we have said, that is the kinetic energy carried by the alpha particle, and only when it is greater than 0 it is possible. If the particle can come out, if it is 0 it will be stagnant, it will be inside only. So, this is the condition. Q greater than 0 is the condition for emission of alpha particle. Now, here the whole Gamow's theory is based on what is called quantum mechanical tunneling. So, alpha particle is inside and it is able to come outside crossing the Coulomb barrier, crossing the barrier. The diagram we will be able to give the explanation more clearly. Here you can just remember there is a barrier, Coulomb barrier, and the particle has to cross the barrier. If the barrier is thick, then the probability is small. The probability of the particle coming out is small. It is like a thick wall and thin wall. So, we get the barrier thickness is large, probability of a particle coming out is small. Therefore, this is based on the quantum mechanical tunneling, or it is called barrier penetration. Earlier to this Gamow's theory, quantum mechanical tunneling was a theoretical concept where a particle can cross the barrier, that is cross the wall and be available outside, cross the wall. So, that was a theoretical work, and this Gamow's theory is the first theoretical explanation, is the first theoretical explanation for theoretical verification of quantum mechanical tunneling, first verification of quantum mechanical tunneling. Then based on this quantum tunneling we have got other things also, like we have got in electronics we have got tunnel diode, that is also based on tunneling effect. Now, here this Gamow's theory, Gamow need to be proud that his theory was the first one to check up the quantum mechanical tunneling, and this is theoretical form of Geiger-Nuttall law. So, this able to Geiger-Nuttall law was only the experimental law. Now, this was able to give a theoretical explanation for that, and classically we see that next session we will be able to show that the particle classically there is no decay, the particle cannot decay, but due to tunneling we will be getting the decay phenomena. Now, we will just summarize what we have discussed. So, the alpha decay reaction, we have just given one example, uranium becomes thorium or thorium will become the next daughter element, and we have just said about what is the Q value and what is the kinetic energy carried by the alpha particle, and the range will depend on the alpha particle, depends on the energy of the alpha particle, and alpha spectra we said about the higher state and lower state, the excited states, ground to ground transition, all that. Now, Gamow's theory we need to go in detail. Here we have given the crisp of Gamow's theory and we will go into that. Geiger-Nuttall law we have just stated is a straight line fitting, and the Gamow's theory will again theoretically deduce the Geiger-Nuttall law, and the kinetic energy of alpha particle for all practical purpose you can just take the total value Q is carried by the alpha particle. So, we will just continue with the Gamow's theory. Now, we will just put a few questions for today's session. Calculate the Q value for alpha emission from uranium 238 nucleus. So, the 238 nucleus, the daughter is thorium. So, you can calculate using the Q value, using the binding energy you can calculate the Q value. So, we will discuss the answers later. Obtain the relation between kinetic energy of alpha particle and the Q value of decay. So, the derivation where we get energy carried, and explain short and long range alpha particle using energy level diagram. So thank you.